Don't wake me up at 12 a.m.
I didn't know what it meant until it happened before my eyes. From the very first day Obinna warned me never to wake him once the clock crossed 12 a.m., I had always wondered what could make a grown man give such a strange instruction. It was when we just got married. And because I loved him and respected his ways, even the ones that made little sense, I obeyed without asking questions. I did not want to trouble him with arguments he would not entertain. Perhaps if I had asked, if I had pushed a little, if I had insisted on knowing the truth that night he first mentioned it, everything would not have happened the way it did. But life rarely gives warnings. It simply moves, and we move with it. It was almost midnight when it began. Our 3-month-old baby had been restless all evening. At first, I thought she was only hungry, but even after I fed her, she tossed and kicked like something was bothering her. I rubbed her back gently and paced the room, whispering songs my mother used to sing for me when I was small. Obinna was already asleep beside me, breathing softly, unaware of the battle I was fighting with our child's discomfort. He looked so peaceful, so far away from every trouble, that I did not dare call his name. His warning echoed in my mind again. Once it's 12 a.m., don't touch me, don't call me, just let me rest. I'll wake up in the morning, I don't like being disturbed at that time. I checked the clock. 11:43 p.m. There was still time, I told myself. Still time to calm the baby before his warning took effect. Still time to handle things on my own like I always did. But fate had already written the night differently. Amoka's cries was louder and more disturbing, sharp and desperate, as if she was trying to say something I could not understand. Even with all that, her father didn't even shake or change position from how he was sleeping. I panicked. Her body felt too warm, not fever warm, but a strange, frightening heat that made my heart race. Obinna. His name escaped my lips before I caught myself. I swallowed the fear rising inside me. I didn't want to break his rule. I didn't want another argument about how I never listened or how I always chose the wrong moment to disturb him. So I held our child tighter and continued pacing. Her cries echoed through the room. I looked at the clock again. 11:51 p.m. I began to sweat. Time was running faster than my thoughts. Please, my baby, calm down, I whispered, rocking her. But she cried louder, her little hands trembling, her breath uneven. The fear inside me grew close. I moved closer to Obinna's side of the bed and watched him. His chest rose and fell slowly, his face calm and distant. I wanted so badly to call him, to shake him awake, to tell him our daughter was not fine. But whenever I opened my mouth to speak, his warning echoed again. I looked at Amoka. Her tiny face was turning red, her cries breaking into small gasps. I checked the time. 11:57 p.m. 3 minutes left. 3 minutes before the fear of waking my husband would become the least of my worries. 3 minutes before I faced that strange boundary he created around himself after midnight. My legs trembled. My lips shook. I could feel tears forming already. God, please, I whispered. Don't let anything happen to my child. I hurried to the window for fresh air, hoping it would help calm her. But nothing changed. She only cried harder, a sound that pierced every corner of the room. By the time I looked at the clock again, everything in me collapsed. 11:59 p.m. Just 1 minute left. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. Amoka suddenly let out a cry so sharp that it felt like it tore my heart in half. Her body jolted slightly in my arms and then she went silent. A silence that was more frightening than the crying. My child didn't say a word again or even cry, and she was seriously running temperature. I couldn't hold myself and I could not even drive, let alone take her to the hospital. I rushed back to the bed and tapped Obinna frantically. Obinna, wake up. Please. Something is wrong with Amoka. He didn't move. I tapped him again. Harder this time. Nothing. The time changed. 12 a.m. Like the night had been waiting for that exact moment. Our daughter was breathing, but the breaths were too faint, too slow. I shook Obinna desperately, not caring about his warnings anymore. He stayed still. Obinna. Wake up. No movement. No sound. No response. My heart pounded violently. I touched his face, expecting him to complain about disturbing his sleep. But his skin was cold. Not the cold of a man sleeping under a fan. Not the cold of night breeze. A cold that frightened me. A cold that did not belong on a living man. He was no longer breathing.